I got a 705 on the official mock.
Right.
Official GMAT mock. So I was pretty confident. Okay, now I'm ready for this. And in all the excitement, I'm not making this up. The night before, I could not sleep. No, you think about, after the GMAT, this will happen. I'll have to do this. I'll be able to select the schools. You'll be done with one of the major steps. Because of that, I could not sleep, and I took cetirizine pill to sleep. And I'm not making this up. Trust me. I had not prepared anything before my final attempt.
Right.
And the story that I was mentioning you was that before 2 weeks before my final attempt, I got severe fever. I got very ill.
Oh, no.
Again, philosophically, excitement and anxiety only comes from the sources with you are attached to.
Right.
So if you are attached to something, there will be anxiety, there will be excitement as well. So you can't just dissociate yourself from that.
First of all, big congratulations on your GMAT score, 725. It's been a while, but
Yeah.
Great score. And look at and we're just going to have a quick score report that we shared earlier today. 99 percentile overall, 725. And you have a progressive percentile in quant, verbal, and data insights, 91, 97, 99. But like the story is not exactly this. When you started off, this was not like your strength, right? So.
Right. I mean, I would say it was exactly in the opposite manner. So,
right. So we'll just start off from the very beginning, and we'll also start with the fact that you've known GMAT before you came to top 2%. You did have an experience of giving the exam. You knew your strengths. So even before all of these things, just give a little background about yourself and how did this entire idea of pursuing an MBA or GMAT come into being? I mean, you already are in a place where these ideas and thoughts foster, but something that essentially helped you to take the step.
So yeah, I've been planning to go for MBA for about 2 years now. I'd been speaking to some of my seniors, but I was not very committed to the idea. But then last year, I was suggested by one of the seniors who went to Kellogg that I should first give CAT exam to see where I stand, and then I can start the preparation. And it would take at max around about maybe 2 or 3 months, given that I have graduated from IIT and I have a strong quant background, so it should not be an issue. So I gave CAT last year, and then I started the preparation on my own. For about 2 months, I think I prepared in December and January.
Right.
Gave my first official mock and got a 685. And in all the happiness and excitement, I just booked the test for the next, in the next 1 month. But then I gave another official mock, I think about 3 days after that, and I scored 575, I think, or 585. It was directly 100 points drop. And I was shook. I was completely shook. I mean, I didn't know what to do. Should I reschedule it or what? But I was like, it could be an off day or whatever. I should go ahead with it anyway. So then gave a couple of mocks after that as well. But the score was in the range around 615, 625, something like that. And then I went and gave the exam and I got a 615. So at that point, at least I knew I had done everything that I could.
Right.
And there was something missing in my preparation, which I could not resolve on my own. So I knew I needed external help. So I had heard about top 1% during the 2 months that I was preparing on my own. There was a senior from my college who recommended top 1%. And given that we had similar background, I thought it would suit me as well because it did wonders for him. So yeah, I did my research, looked around about the top 1%. Then I went ahead. I think after 2 or 3 days, I gave my first GMAT. Then, so yeah, I had taken the self-paced course because I knew I would be able to complete it on my own. I had enough motivation.
Right.
So yeah, thus started the journey with top 1%. And I had targeted it that I would be able to complete the course in 2 months. And then I'll be in a very good position to apply in the round one.
Right.
I completed the course, but I was not able to score well in the mock tests, even on the top 1% portal. The highest that I got was in my very first test. It was 645.
Right.
But after that, it was all in the range of 575, 605. But still, somewhere I knew that I'll be able to score well because in the sectional tests that were there, I was performing very well. So just for context, verbal was pulling me way down. So it was a very weak section for me. So, and even in that, CR was the main concern for me, because I had never thought of things in that sense, that
Right.
where you have a premise, a fact, and based on those things, you make a conclusion. So, yeah, it took some time for me, I guess, to wrap my head around that kind of framing of logical concepts.
Structured.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, structured concept. I mean, in daily life and even in this kind of engineering life, you don't converse with people in that manner.
Correct.
That you have some facts, and then based on that you create your own opinion.
Premise. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it took some time, and the thing was that I was performing well in sectional test, because I think the sectional tests that are there on the top 1% portal are from LSAT.
Right.
So I was getting only maybe one incorrect or two incorrect. So I knew I had it in me, but something was missing maybe on the test day or whatever. Uh, so that's why I still went ahead and booked another test in July, because the stress was too much for round one. And in between, by the end, I got a 705 on the official mock.
Right.
Official GMAT mock. So I was pretty confident ki, okay, now I'm ready for this. And in all the excitement, and I'm not making this up, the night before I could not sleep.
Oh no.
The things that you think about ki, oh, after the GMAT, this will happen, I'll have to do this, I'll be able to select the schools, you'll be done with one of the major steps. So all those kind of thoughts started to pour in, and because of that I could not sleep, and I took citizen pill to sleep. And yeah, and I had booked the test at around 1 p.m. I think, but the effect of that pill kind of stayed during the test as well. So I had told myself, oh, okay, this another test is messed up now, while I was going to the test center. Uh, but I told myself, I had been reading some of the autobiographies of some of the famous people, and to get myself motivated and all of that. And everyone had that story where on the judgment day they had some things that did not went their way. So I was like, okay, it might happen with me as well. But by the end of the test, I remember I was completely fatigued. Although I had been preparing myself to give the test, the schedule, the practice that I was giving to give those tests in the exact time. If I've scheduled the test at 1 p.m., then I made sure ki I'll be
All your
practicing at
tests
that
are
time.
at 1 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and because that particular time, a person can get very sleepy because of, I mean, you have the lunch at that time, and you kind of get sleepy at that time. So I made sure ki maybe I had lunch before that, or maybe after the test that I gave 1 week before the actual test. So all of preparation was there. I was trying to control the external factors that were there. So I think that was one thing that I should not have done, to control the factors that were not in my control actually. But anyway, I gave the test. I got a very good point score. It was 88. And even in verbal, I got only 5 incorrect. I had even written it down. But even with 5 incorrect, I got a score of 81 in verbal.
Right.
So I was completely devastated with that, because I had seen scores of people with more incorrect but way better score in verbal.
Right.
So I did not know at that time ki, what should I do. I have done everything that I can. So I had nowhere to go. But then after 2 or 3 days, I took a break and then looked back, and I kind of found that my comprehension skill itself was not at that level.
Right.
Because I mean, the second time I had gotten a 645. It's not a very bad score, but I knew that the kind of profile that I have, there was some missing things in my profile. So I had to score a 99th percentile.
Correct.
So I knew to get there, I'll have to do something else as well. I mean, I'll have to read between the lines. So I found that my comprehension skills are not at that level. So I mean, I just kept reading an article daily or any other essay that I came across online. Because after the second test, I had exhausted all the material. I still have in my error log that I had done around 800 questions on CR, maybe 900 or 1,000 questions on RC. And it was not like I was getting tired doing them. I was enjoying them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was not like, okay, I'll have to do this. Now I'll have to do this. Because I was enjoying, I mean, the Know the World process, the videos, I had seen a couple of them, and they kind of piqued my interest in world history, American culture. I had no idea about it before that. So I read couple of books after that. I guess they kind of built reading habit in me, and it's just that they took some time to show the effect on the paper, I guess. So yeah, and so after my second attempt, I had exhausted all the resources, and I was like, okay, I'll just simply keep the momentum up. I did some point questions daily, maybe even only 4 or 5 questions daily, and I just read a couple of essays. That's it before my final attempt. So yeah, that was my strategy or my learning. I would say was that letting go of the pressure, the stress was the key for me. And there is
Right.
another story before my final test as well. I can share that. I mean, if you have
Of
any other
course, of
question during
course.
this.
Just before, I wanted to know because you took the self-paced course and the journey could have been really lonely and
Hmm.
sometimes very struggling because then you do not know. I mean, it's one thing to kind of see the score in front of you, what you're getting, but the other thing is that are you even in the right direction or not? So you did have a conversation with Richa that you
Hmm.
seek support from the faculty.
Hmm. Correct, correct, correct.
And how did that conversation kind of help you in navigating through the entire course material again and in your preparation and the journey, like an attempt to the exam?
Yeah.
As
So, I mean, when I took the self-paced course, it was quite self-explanatory. I would say you have to do this, then this, then this. But I had called with Tanishq, the one that
well?
you are mentioning. Yeah, and he had rightly said, don't book your next test before you start getting the target score that you are achieving, even more than that. Uh, but I mean, I had the stress for the round one. Yeah, I'll have to apply in the round one. So
Right.
I went ahead and booked the test anyway. It was foolish, waste of money, definitely. But I guess if I am in that position again, maybe I'll do it again because the round one stress is real. So
It is real.
you,
So,
yeah.
but I think sometimes because this exam is again testing your mind, right? And having this
Hmm,
kind of stress, irrespective of how much you've prepared, maybe in
hmm,
your final attempt, you've probably done 30%, 40% more effort, but it is
hmm,
still the
hmm,
same learning that you've
hmm.
had. The stress kind of really pushed you back, probably
Correct, correct.
be the
Yeah, I
main.
mean, I would correct you a bit. It was not 30 or 40% more. It was 100% less. I'm not making this up. Trust me. I had not prepared anything before my final attempt.
Right.
And the story that I was mentioning you was that before, 2 weeks before my final attempt, I got severe fever. I got very ill.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I had booked my test on Friday, and on Monday I started getting a bit temperature, and by the end of the day, by the end of Monday, I had around 101, 1.5 kind of fever. I thought I'll recover in couple of days. I won't have to reschedule my attempt, but Wednesday came and I still had 103.5 fever.
Oh no.
And at that point, I thought, yeah, I'll have to now reschedule it. Because again, I wanted to now apply in round two, because round one was gone. So I went ahead and rescheduled it for a week later. So that week was gone. I was obviously not able to study. I was just completely lying down. By Sunday, I got recovered a bit. Then starting Monday, again, I just resumed my that daily practice of reading an essay to keep my mind, in the momentum. Yeah. And then went ahead and on Thursday, I had my test. And it did wonders for me, I guess, that fever, because I had to let go of all the stress. There was no other option
Right.
because I was on the bed, I was bedridden. I had no other thing going on. I was completely stress free at that time. And I slept like a baby at the night before the
Right.
test.
Right.
So I went ahead and gave the test. And I don't know, is it about GMAT or what? Because even while I was attempting the test, I was not sure I'm performing way well, way above my previous attempts.
Right.
Because my attempts have been 615, 645, and then directly 725. This is
Right.
not even anywhere where, I mean, this score, I have not touched this score in any of my mocks.
Right. Right.
So,
And it
yeah, yeah.
And it can't be a fluke shot also, it really
I
can't.
mean, I'm kind of still wondering how it happened because I guess, but the imposter syndrome borns from this kind of thinking, I guess,
Right.
because you have to be honest with yourself and you think it's a fluke, and over the time it develops into the imposter syndrome. But I don't know.
But overall, look, I've spoken to you for the last 10, 15 minutes, but
Hmm, hmm,
you've done everything in that is said, and you've really imbibed. It took a while.
mm,
It took about
mm,
exactly 6 months for you, really well prepared through. But you've been doing, and it has caught in your muscle memory, right?
correct.
And see, sometimes, like I said, the second attempt, the stress kind of really did not allow you to
Mm,
perform it.
mm,
This has been every scorer story that,
mm,
when they're at a 7:15, 7:25 peak, they
mm,
just do not know if they're getting it right,
mm,
or they
right.
would get this kind of a score. But I think it's what you practice every single day that makes a
Mm,
lot of. I've got a lot of points from what you said.
mm,
You initially
mm,
understood very clearly what was missing in your preparation.
mm,
You got in,
mm,
you started working on your verbal section.
mm,
You cleared that. You
mm,
made sure you also be preparing for quad, which is your strength,
mm. Correct.
and continue to study some article to comprehend. You understood
Right.
where were the mistakes. So I
Mm.
think all of that kind of really got you that
Yeah,
score. You should convince
definitely.
yourself with that, and
Correct,
give
correct,
credits for yourself completely.
correct. I mean, I would say the one thing that's tested in the entire test is your comprehension skill. I mean,
Absolutely.
this must be told to you by everyone who takes the test.
Right.
Comprehension skill is very, very necessary. And given the time that we live in, it's very easy to distract yourself. So your time, that attention span is very low. So it kind of comes into the picture somehow.
Tell me one thing. Again, I pointed out that this journey could have been
Hmm,
really lonely. Did you have
hmm,
any kind of a support, or you mentioned you used to read some article for motivation?
hmm.
What kind of kept you through? Because there's also work going on. Like it is
Correct,
also very
correct, correct,
demanding for you when you say you have a great profile
correct.
that you have to really give that kind of time. So how did
Hmm,
you manage juggle between job and studying? And was there any break in
hmm,
your preparation? And also, what is it that
hmm,
kept you motivated every single day? Ki chalo aaj utke karna hai
hmm,
at times.
hmm. Yeah. There was no break as such. I don't know if you would consider the break before my last attempt, because conventionally it was a break because I was not studying. Uh, but there was no break as such because I had listened to many people saying that can't have a break. You can't afford a break between your preparation because then you'll have to again start the momentum. So there was no break as such, maybe a couple of days here and there, but not a long break than that.
Right.
And about the support system, I have my friends, definitely. I'm blessed in that area. Uh, so they knew everything about Niki. Yeah, Lara is preparing for this. This is his stage. He's at this stage right now. So kind of they'll keep me motivated. But when it comes to managing the work and the preparation, it was necessary that I compartmentalize my day. So I had put a focus hour on my phone from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. I would turn off my Wi-Fi and all of that, turn it to do not disturb. And I was just a side note, I was relieved when I gave the GMAT. The first thing I did was remove that focus mode. So
Right.
yeah. So the key to managing everything is to, I guess, you'll have to compartmentalize your day, and yeah, that helps. Every day, every night, I was studying for maybe around 2.5 to 3 hours at least. Uh, I had I minimized my socializing. I'm a social animal. I like going out and being with my friends. But I had to minimize it to very low level because I knew I'm at that point of life where I'll have to do this.
Right.
So it took the priority. Again, it comes to the priority you give to each of your
Right.
tasks. So
Right.
this came at the top priority for me.
Super.
So yeah, that helped.
Going back to the preparation, what really stood out for you from the topic percent material? You definitely have said about KTW and few other things, but
Hmm,
what portal and everything, what really stood
hmm,
out for you? And it was a game change for you in terms
hmm.
of improvement.
Uh, I would say the quantity of material itself that's there. Uh, I mean, it's too much. I would say because you'll get time to learn and correct your mistakes along the way. Even if you are not able to do it in your first 50 or 100 questions, then you have 100 more questions, then 100 more questions. So quantity of the material and the doubt resolvement definitely was very. I would appreciate that very much
Right.
because I would post my CR doubts left, right, and center. Uh, because I would break down the entire statement. I will take the screenshot of every question. I will
Right.
say ki this part of the sentence does not make any sense. And then I would get satisfying replies as well.
Right.
So these two things definitely stood out for me. And yeah, again, the amount of material that's there, I would stress it on the portal as well.
Right.
So The muscle memory, sorry, yeah, the muscle memory that you mentioned. I mean, it kinds of build through this amount of material only.
Right. So on your
Yeah.
final attempt on the exam day, previously you mentioned you had a lot of anxiety thoughts, no sleep and all that. So the
Yeah.
final day, how did that anxiety, was there even any anxiety, or was there any question that you felt very uncomfortable answering, like it took you by surprise? On the final attempt, how did that entire exam experience went by?
So there was, I don't think I had anxiety or any kind of stress that day. I had not even told my parents that I'm going for the attempt, because I had directly told them after the score came that I had booked the test and this is the score. Uh, yeah, for whatever reason in my mind, I had not told them. Yeah, I mean, I would say the one thing that changed for me in this attempt was that I took my stronger section first. So my sectional order was quant, verbal, and then DI. So when I did well, at least in my mind, in the quant section, I knew, okay, one thing is done, and now you can relax a bit. Now verbal part is there, but it was not like I have a mountain to climb sort of thing like that, because I have already done my whatever I could in the quant section. So now verbal is there, and then data insights is there. I'll kind of breeze through it. So that kind of debate that's there, that you should attempt your strongest section first or do it in the last. So I had tried everything, and now I came back again to the section order.
Right.
This section order. Yeah.
You
So yeah.
actually progressed, like we saw in the score report.
Hmm.
What you said you did well, but the percentile kind of dropped.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that, there
Yeah.
is no scope for any kind of big errors. Because that
Correct.
just drops. It is so disappointing at the end of the day that your stronger
Correct.
area is weaker than the weakest
Yeah.
area that is there. Data insights,
Correct.
how did that turn out to be a 99 percentile for you? Like, were you also
Again, I would say I still don't know. I'm honestly saying this. But I mean, if I go in retrospect to my test day, I would say I was able to comprehend everything that was written.
perfect? Right.
I was not looking for answers here and there. I was not juggling between multiple tabs. So that I mean, how did that happen? Could be because I was not taking any kind of stress.
There you go.
And yeah, and saying this is easier than doing it, and it'll have to come to you naturally. You can't just say, "Ki, I won't take stress," and it'll happen. It's not like that. It'll have to be naturally. Maybe falling ill is one of the ways get there,
Right.
but not suggested.
Perfect. What a journey, I would say, Lara. Tell me just a couple of points that you would say, summarize. Obviously, there's a lot that anybody can take it from here, but if you'd like to say a couple of points that someone should, the people who are starting off or maybe in the middle of the preparation, the absolute do's and don'ts.
Absolutely do will be have faith in yourself. Be honest to yourself. So, I mean, if I can elaborate on this, because even when I was not scoring well, I had faith in me ki I am doing everything that I can. So that kept me motivated. So you'll have to be honest with yourself. Whatever parameters, target you set for yourself, just be honest with that and keep working in that direction. Uh, Second must do would be keep an error log. That definitely helps because you are able to then go back and see, okay, I've been, you can see the pattern then that I've been making this kind of error, and then you can kind of resolve it and make a bigger picture maybe. Because in my case, I came to the conclusion that comprehension skills are not at that level. So it took that analyzing through the entire error log, these are the kind of mistakes that I've been making, and this leads to saying that my comprehension skills are weak.
Right.
So yeah, that's do yeah, I mean, these are the couple of ones. Yeah.
Anything that you would say, just don't or avoid doing in the preparation? Stress.
Yeah, I mean, but
Or excitement and over,
I mean, again, philosophically, excitement and anxiety only comes from the sources with you are attached to.
Right.
So if you are attached to something, there will be anxiety, there will be excitement as well. So you can't just dissociate yourself from that. But absolutely don't will be. I mean, you can put that in the absolutely do is that know the rules of the game.
Right.
That you are going to play. You can't just go in blind. You'll have to know. You'll have to strategize everything. Okay, this is going to be my sectional order for whatever reason. And then I'm going to attempt first 10 questions like this, then 5 questions like this. So yeah, be well strategized.
And the final thoughts, you are on the other side. What
Yeah.
schools are you looking to apply, Lara?
So yeah, I'm applying in the US schools, top 15 schools, given that it's round two and I'm an Indian male engineer. So maybe M7 are kind of out of reach at this point. But yeah, so I'm targeting top 15 schools in the US.
Obviously, I really wish, given your score, given your background, and I hope you really articulate your applications very well.
Yeah.
We at Top 1% are super proud of what you've achieved. Sandeep sir extremely extends his congratulations and best wishes. But more importantly, we really wish that you get the best in the school, and hopefully you should be spoiled for choices. With the admits, all the schools that you get, I put an admit, and hopefully an M7 school, like one of your the seniors in
Yeah.
college, who you are looking up to, right? So
Yeah.
hopefully very soon, and we'll keep connected, and
Mm.
just let us know, and we will really be extremely happy for that kind of an admit and that progress that you make in life. Wishing you all the best. Thank you so much for trusting Top 1% through your journey, and big congratulations and best wishes, I would say.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you very much, and thank you to Sandeep as well. I could not thank him. I mean, speak to him directly, but yeah, please convey my message.
Absolutely. He's extremely
Yeah.
proud. I should tell you
Yeah.
that, because
Yeah.
your score validates his teaching, and he's
Yeah.
like, he's humble,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lara. You have a lovely
Yeah.
day. Thank you for connecting with
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
today. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.